Episode number 214. Are these comics going to make good film and television shows? We have Catwoman number 73. And going back to the Wayback Machine, we have Fantastic Four number 287. Let's check them out right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I'm your host, Frank Zanca. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, we're going to talk about this. In fact, it was funny. Somebody commented that, oh, you're a filmmaker, but I looked you up on IMDb, and a lot of your stuff is not liked. Well, first of all, I work for other people. I'm a line producer. I work for other people, man. I work for, the studios, and now I don't write everything. So if somebody doesn't like, the story, it's not on me. That's like saying, well, nobody liked the Marvels, so, Brie Larson didn't really win an award, for acting. It is what it is. I work for other people, and however it turns out, but I'm not in charge of the creative side. I've only written and produced 2 movies, one movie and one pilot. The pilot is still getting shopped, but it went to the festival route, and it won 5 awards so far. So, but there wouldn't be any real reviews on that one. So, again, it is what it is. You can't blame the things I work on creatively on me. Jeez. Anyway, remember to give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. And and remember too that we are in our last week of the Green Hornet 90th anniversary anthology hardcover book with stories by Timothy Zahn, who created Thrawn for Star Wars, as well as Kevin J. Anderson, who wrote for Dune, among a bunch of others. Bill Willingham, cover art by Matt Wagner from Batman and Grendel. We just unlocked interior art by Dennis Campbell of Marvel Noir. And we got just a pile of people involved in it. And they're all very, very talented. It's going to be just a great, great project. That's why we're fully funded on Kickstarter already. We were fully funded the first week already, and now we're about to unlock our next stretch goal. We're only like $1,000 off, so it's a perfect time to jump in. They won't be available in stores as far as the signed ones, and everything will be more expensive than they are on the actual campaign. So go to greenhornetnoir.com or check the link in the description below and definitely jump in. It's the perfect time to jump in right now. All right, so let's talk about Catwoman. This is by Torin Grunbuck. I'm mostly collecting her Red Sonja, but the Red Sonja one is better, but she's still very green in a lot of ways because she loses plot points and things to that effect, and she lets the story kind of meander around. But with this one, it's far worse. Far worse because it's pretty obvious that she does not understand Catwoman in the least. So Catwoman, once you take Catwoman out of Gotham, it already has a problem. But then you start giving her this odd past of going all around the country and whatever else, or not even the country, the world. I think this place takes place in Germany or something to that effect. Once you start doing all that, you kind of lose her identity, since her identity is mostly linked to Gotham. But anyway, beyond that, it's just really strange. And this is a new storyline, which is why I said, okay, I'll keep going and see if this one changes from the last one, because the last one was very bad, and the last one is the same as this one. It's the same story continuing. With her as this character, Evie, that I guess Torin thinks is the best thing in the world for Catwoman. And this is her and she's supposed to be stealing stuff for this family, this German family. But yeah, I'm just going to jump through this very quickly because it's just not good. and it's just not Catwoman. But anyway, you have her with, this blue hair, and she needs to go incognito, so she makes friends with these girls on the plane, and then she asks that they can give her a ride because she feels that if there's more of them together, she'll be able, they're going to be looking for her by herself instead of in this whole group. And then they start talking about men and stuff like that apparently she thinks is funny. But it's just not. I don't know what's going on, really. What is she trying to get out of this? I don't know. But anyway, this agency is now tracking her. I guess it's not an agency. I guess it's one of the family things, because there's they're torturing this guy and the whole bit. But again, does this feel like Catwoman to you? So she meets like her old sensei or something to that effect. Since when was she trained outside the country? No clue. So here she is on top of a building now, and this is where we get the little fight scene. I really don't even like how her ears are. I really don't like the art in here at all, to tell you the truth. So she goes inside, looking, I think she's looking for some kind of a card key or something like that, some kind of evidence. And she runs in to see the guy that was getting tortured, and she lets him go. But somebody's behind the door. Dun, dun, dun. And she barely dodges it and kicks his ass and puts him out. And then she connects to the computer. And the guy that she just saved tries to shoot her. And then he shoots himself when, I don't know how, I guess he's weak, so I guess that fight is there. And of course, she's still getting tracked. And that's it. So yeah, it doesn't feel like Catwoman in the least. I don't really care about this family. I really don't care about what's going on outside the country. I care what's going on in Gotham. And this just doesn't do it, man. That's my last. I'm officially dropping Catwoman. It's too bad I can't collect Wonder Woman because Tom King has screwed the pooch on that one. And now I can't collect Catwoman because Torrin Grunbuck doesn't get the character. Or neither one of them get those characters. So, and then we have, I'm dropping, got one more Avengers. Going to be dropping that. I'm probably going to drop West Coast Avengers. The writing is just bad. And talking about writing, I'm continuing my my run of John Byrne on Fantastic Four. He is writing, this is from the 80s, where Ben Grimm has stepped down, and She-Hulk is taking his position as the heavy on the team. And this is pretty much the end of his run. His end of his run was 289, I believe, and this is 287. But we have this very odd cover that says that this is Peggy, and this is the end of the Fantastic Four, or whatever. If she has some decision to make, it could be the end of the Fantastic Four. Yeah. So what's her decision? I don't know. But the Fantastic Four has moved into Avengers Mansion, I guess. It's a mansion, I believe. And there's Janet Van Dyne, who is the Wasp. And this one's actually in pretty good condition, considering. I got this at the convention. Yeah. But so she's questioning him about what he's building, and she's like, it's not going to blow up, is it? No, we're doing a brain scan thing. So he's kind of doing facial recognition with brain waves, because Dr. Doom, and I didn't realize it at the time, but Dr. Doom was killed in number 260. He was vaporized. And I have that coming in the mail. 260. See, a lot, I guess, I don't... I really didn't know about Fantastic Four, but this is the good Fantastic Four. It's really good stuff that we don't see in Fantastic Four right now with Ryan North for sure. But anyway, so they have the inkling that he's still alive. So he has, it's almost like a facial recognition thing where he's got it going out into the world and looking for the match for Doctor Doom, for Victor's brainwaves. But anyway, then we have Sue show up, and Janet's like, hey, we have our hair appointment, so let's go. She's like, okay. And I guess that She-Hulk is going to go with them. And while they go out, there's a match for the brainwaves. So he doesn't see it at the time. But I assume it alerts him. But anyway, when they leave the mansion, they're going to this French guy who is the hairstylist and all this other stuff, and all we get is this back and forth praise about how good he is as a hairstylist. But anyway, we have She-Hulk goes out because there's a boom outside, and we find this guy is shooting the Latverian embassy, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure I like the design, but it's got almost like a Kirby kind of design with the way that the metal is done. I like how Byrne... I mean, if you look at that first scene with the machine that Reed is building, you could definitely tell that he took some nods from Kirby about how intricate the machine is. But anyway, he's like, is that the Invincible Man? What a name. But anyway, it's really funny because from this point on, Susan's hair is all fucked up because she was in the middle of having it done. So it's like all fucked up throughout the entire thing. But anyway, she says, I'll turn my clothes invisible so that my uniform is shown. And I guess that, I don't know if She-Hulk just takes her clothes off. I'm not sure. But either way, they go down in full uniform. I'm not sure how their shoes get changed, but whatever. And that was always the funny thing about Superman, too. Does he have his shoes over his boots? But anyway, they go down there to foil the Invincible Man. And she says he pleads with them to help because they have captured his wife and kid or something like that, and they're being held in the Latverian thing. And then Doctor Doom is dead, but no, Doctor Doom is standing in the window. And he's like, you have to help me. Doctor Doom captured my family, and being the bleeding hearts, I guess they believe him, and they run into the embassy to foil that. In the meantime, Peggy and her kid go to see her mom, and her mom's like, where have you been? You've been, for a whole month you've been gone. And she tells her the story of her husband, that he hasn't been acting like himself, and suddenly he picked up all these scientific abilities, and he was building something, and he forbade them to leave. So he basically held his wife captive, and then he left. He was making a suit. And then he left, and that allowed Peggy to leave. Meanwhile, and I'm not sure I buy this, but She-Hulk just smashes through the door of the Latverian embassy, and they take on all of Doom's Sentinels. So while they're taking him on, all these guys, or these robots, Sue decides to turn invisible and follow the Invincible Man, and at least find Doom. Because she's like, well, how is he still alive? And meanwhile, we go back to Peggy, and Peggy's like, oh my God, the suit that he made is on television at the Latverian embassy. Let's go. So her and the mom go to do that. So meanwhile, we have this fight going on with Doom and Sue because he has infrared uh, lenses come down in the armor mask. But then the Invisible Man shoots her in the back, but she reveals that she felt him behind her and put up the shield at the last moment, or else she would have been killed. And that's important for in the end here, but I'll come to that. But apparently Peggy and the mom get to the embassy pretty damn quick, while this battle is still going on. I mean, they must have been within walking distance. But anyway, we're fighting, and this is after she had her other portion has been revealed, that she was like Malice or whatever else. So Doom was unaware of the fact that her powers had been heightened, and he's like, not Doom, but Invincible Man is saying that I was unprepared for her being as strong as she is. But even Peggy says, "Hey, that's Sue Storm," but her hair's all messed up. But apparently, she didn't feel Peggy behind her. How convenient. And he says, "Oh, my husband, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I'm here to save you." And it ends up being Doom underneath the mask. And he reveals that he switched bodies as he was being atomized with her husband. So her husband is gone. And now, but he can't get into the embassy, which actually makes sense because he doesn't have his real body. So all his biometric stuff doesn't work. It was funny because this is the 80s, and he's talking about biometric stuff, which we have now, but they didn't have back in the 80s, so it was sci-fi back then. It was very interesting. And he's, saying, "You're going to come with me, but I'm going to call in the rest of the Fantastic Four by her belt." Now, why he doesn't kill Sue right there and then, I do not know. Plus, he's already got She-Hulk downstairs knocking the crap out of his guards. So I don't know what he's doing with her. So Johnny gets not yet, but he's about to get the emergency signal. And they're talking about Ben. I don't understand this. So he's with Alicia, who was with Ben. How? I mean, wow. First of all, Alicia got around. But second of all, why would you do that to like your best friend and steal his girl? And I think that's why he left the Fantastic Four. I can't tell. But he's like, "Oh, I feel bad for him. And, whenever I kissed him, it wasn't like kissing you. It was like kissing a rock, blah, blah, blah," which that I get. But still, I mean, why does he not feel guilty about this? I don't know. But anyway, he takes off, and she's worried about him as leaving. And, we'll see what happens from this point. But really good stuff, other than the few little things that I pointed out that are kind of convenient things. But I like it how we don't get this kind of stuff today, where there's kind of this, why is this guy attacking? What's the connection with the girl? Blah, blah, blah. All those questions, of course, are answered. And again, I didn't even know Doom was dead. Would it make a good film or television show? Well, I think there's plenty of other Doctor Doom stories. You'd have to kill them off before you could do this one. So not particularly this one. But I guess we'll see what happens with... I'm not a fan of what's going on with Fantastic Four in the movie anyway. I think it's going to be a dud. I don't like the casting of Reed Richards at all. I'm not even sure if I'm a cat. I really don't even like how the Thing looks. With the CG is just overly CG. So I'm not really a fan of any of it. I think that the casting for the original Fantastic Four, for the Fox stuff, I thought that was decent casting. I mean, you can say what you can want to say about the plot and how they screwed up Doom. But I like that. And I thought Chris Evans did a good job as Johnny Storm. So he's going to be a hard one to live up to, I think. And Catwoman, no, this is a complete piece of shit. complete piece of shit, and I'm dropping it. DC, what are you doing? Pick people that know what the hell they're doing with these characters. Jesus. All right. Well, that's it for me. Thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Remember to give me that like, give me that subscribe if you can. Ring that bell, ding, ding. It's free. Why not? Get notified about when I put up new videos daily. And remember, too, that we are in our final week for the Green Hornet Anthology 90th Anniversary Celebration hardcover with Timothy Zahn, Kevin J. Anderson, with cover art by Matt Wagner, interior art by Dennis Calero. It's just going to be awesome. Go to greenhornetnoir.com or click the link in the description below. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching.